Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Tanya Biglow, your philosophical physicist using science to get you unstuck. And today we're going to have a fun training. Today we're going to talk a little bit about you. And I want to ask the question, who are you? Today we're going to also answer the question of why you do what you do or why you don't do what you don't do. So this is going to be an easy way to explain who you are and some of your quirks and why and how you show up each and every day. So let's go ahead and get started. So do you find yourself always being late? You know, the party starts at 7, you're not showing up until 9. You have to be at work at 9 a.m. You're always there 9:10, 9:20, 9:30. I know for most people, if that's your situation, if you don't own the company, then you're probably not going to work there very long. But hey, it's a part of the concept, right? Or maybe you find yourself always making these lists, right? Like you have to do something. You're like, okay, hold on, let me get organized. And you have to make all of these lists. Well, there's a reason why. It's not just something that you do. It's not just germane to you. There's actually a reasoning why. So this training will help on a few levels. One, it will help you understand a little bit about who you are and how you show up each and every day. But it also helps if you have to interact with other people. What a concept. So this is for my MLMers, those individuals who work in network marketing, where the whole goal is to go out and meet new people. This will help you do that. This is also for my salespeople. If you have to prospect or if you have potential clients that you want to sit down and engage with, this will give you some tools that you can use to win them over. I know you may or may not have ever heard of mirroring and matching, but this information will help you to do just that. And then it also helps in family dynamics, right? So mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, aunts, uncles, especially if you live in a very close proximity. This will help you actually better engage with those individuals and know why they do what they do, while you understand why you do what you do. So let's go ahead and get started. So there are various ways that you can identify these characteristics. Briggs-Myers has a huge test that you can actually go through. They have questions that are like 10, 20 question tests, which is not Briggs-Myers, but then they have like 300 question tests that go into all of these different areas of your personality, who you are, and I mean, just layers and layers and layers. So we're not going to get that deep inside of it, but what I want to do is give you some keys that you can use that, one, will help you understand why you do what you do and who you are, but also you will be able to understand others the moment you see them, the moment you meet them, okay? So there are a variety of ways that you could talk about them. Some people like to use shapes. Some individuals like to use animals. Some individuals like to use sea creatures, right? I love colors. Why? Because I may not know what a sea creature is. I may not know what a trapezoid is and all that, but I do know red, white, blue, yellow, and I believe that most people learn that because we learn that in preschool. We learn that at 3, 4, 5 years old. So that's easy to understand. So that's how I'm going to talk to you today. Okay? So we're going to first talk about our reds, right? So if you have a red type of personality, that doesn't necessarily mean you're on fire, but most of them are, right? So those of our individual friends who are focused on money, Like every part of their conversation is about, okay, how do we get paid? If you're trying to recruit a red into your network marketing company, they don't care about all of the love and hanging out. They want to know about the compensation plan. They want to know, how can I get to the top of the company the fastest? How can I make a ton of money as quickly as possible? What's that outline? That's all they want to know. How can I win? How can I be at the top? And how can I make money? And not just make a couple of dollars. How can I make a lot of money? So those are our reds. So that's the top focus of their mind. Money, 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 money. They sing that song, money, 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 always, every day, right? So that's the top, that's what's on top of their mind. They also are very aggressive, right? And not necessarily physically, however, they could be. But we're not talking relationships like that. But they're very aggressive, right? They're very aggressive in their language, in the way that they interact. These are not your lovey-dovey people, right? They don't care about your feelings, and they're not necessarily purposefully trying to hurt your feelings. They just don't care about your feelings. So if something needs to be done, they may not necessarily take the time to come over and console you and rub your back. They may just say, hey, let's just go get it done. And they may come across as curt or not courteous, but they're not necessarily trying to be offensive. They're just very direct, and that's just their language. Okay, so that's how they speak, how they dress. Very sharp, very crisp. Those are the individuals who are always wearing a suit, or they have a shirt and a tie. Their shoes are always buff and shiny. They are the ones that will wear the Rolex watches, right? They will wear the all of the bling, all of the really expensive items. They will drive the Lexus. They will drive the BMWs. They will drive the Mercedes Benz. How they look to the public is very important to them. So those are your reds, right? So if you're interacting with those in your family or in your business, always talk to them about how they can make money, and understand that even in their conversation, they're very direct and very curt. And if you talk to them that way, that doesn't hurt their feelings. They're like, oh, okay. Because they get the concept. They get the language, right? And you'll know them from the moment you see them, because they'll be very sharp, very crisp. They always wear the latest fashion, and they're always driving a very expensive car. So those are your reds. Now, the polar opposite of the reds are yellows. So those are our loving people. They are individuals who just love on the world. Can we just, they're the ones that sitting in the circle singing Kumbaya. They're the ones that want to rally and join the peace rally. They are the ones that volunteer their time at the shelter. They always, they have a very soft talk. You know, they talk softly, and they don't necessarily want to hear about the money. They just want to know, how can I give? I just want to, I care. They're the ones that really are caring and loving and nurturing. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, right? We have some men in that. And if you notice my voice, they talk very lowly. They're very soft, not necessarily low, but just very soft. They always want to help other people, right? So that's where they're oriented. How can we help? They are the ones that believe in getting behind causes, right? So if you are in a network marketing company and you're wanting to win a yellow over to your team, you would always say, this is how many people you've been able to help, and this is how they can help people, and talk to them always about the cause that your company is actually helping. to facilitate. So you want to always have a soft tone when you're talking to them, and always talk about how they can help people. Now, in this, yellows are always wearing very earth tones. So they will wear your browns, your beige. They're not very flashy in their colors. They're very mild tone. You can almost um, miss them in a crowd because they just kind of sit back to themselves. They're not aggressive. They don't make a big fuss. They just kind of sit back in the back, and they're the ones that actually help to facilitate, to serve, okay? So those are our yellows. And again, they're the polar opposite of the greens, right? So if you do any of these, and you're kind of understanding, yeah, I'm a yellow. That's what I do. Okay. So now we're going to talk about our green. So our green personalities are the analytical people. They want the facts. That's all they want. They're the ones that you could give them all of this data and they are loving the data. You can give them this is this is that, this is this is that. I mean, they love the data. They want it organized, they want it structured, and if it's not structured, by the time you give it to them, they will have it structured, all organized, and they're very organized. You walk into a green's house, there's not a spot, dirt. There's not one thing out of order. Everything is pristine. You walk into a greenhouse, you have to take. If you walk into somebody's house, you have to take off your shoes. They're probably a green, right? You go into their bathroom. Everything is outlined and structured. Their house is very neat and very clean, organized. That's a green. Their tone, is very moderate, so they're not very aggressive. They don't talk very fast. They don't talk very loud. They're just very monotone. Most of them don't talk. These are our individuals who have the pocket organizers. They may have the glasses. They may always carry a bag or a briefcase because they have to have all of their things very structured and very organized. Now, these individuals are very conservative. They don't necessarily spend a lot of money, and when they do, they've gone through all of the various facts of what it is they can do. Now, on the flip side of that, these are probably our procrastinators, right? They take a long time to make up their mind because they have to have all of the facts. And they can't move until they have all of the facts. Like, yes, let me get this organized, let me get this structured, and then they may make a move. Right? So those are my greens. Now, the polar opposite of those individuals are the blues. Woo! And I'm saying that because those are the party people. They're loud. They are the life of the party. So if you ever want to recruit a blue, or if you want to sell a blue, don't take too long because their attention span is like that. They have the shiny ball syndrome like every day. That's just a part of who they are. They're fun. They always love the party. They are the life of the party. So you always love to have blues in the building, right? So if you want to win them over, talk about how many times you all get together and all the fun that you're going to have when you get together. Like if you're going for training and it's in another city, hey, road trip. They love it. They love being gone. They love going to parties. They're loud. If you ever go into a person's house and stuff is all over the place, I'm not talking nasty because that's a whole nother conversation. But if you go to their house and things are kind of all over the place, they're just disorganized. They know exactly where the stuff is that they need when they need it. So don't go in trying to change, trying to get anything organized because you'll mess up their whole world. And even when they do straighten up, within 24 hours, it's back messy. So they're disorganized. And how can you tell a blue when you first meet them? They have all these loud colors, right? Blue, orange, yellow. It's not just in the flowers. It is on their person. People who have blue hair, they're blue. Green hair, pink hair, those are blues. People who have loud, big earrings, that's the blue coming out of them. People who always wear very bright and vibrant colors, they're the blues, right? So the downfalls for being a blue, and we all have good traits and we all have not so good traits in each of the personalities. So with the blues, yeah, they may not keep a job very long because they're always late. They're disorganized. So it's funny, right? I met a girl and she was so a blue, right? She was very loud, had her bright colors, but she was an accountant. She hated her job. So it was funny because what she did for a living, while she probably loved math, it was a polar opposite of who she was to her core. So she really hated her job. And I haven't talked to her in a while. I don't know if she's still an accountant, but once we had this conversation, she's like, oh, that's why I ain't going to work every day. That was so weird, this thing. But hey, it is what it is. So now you know why you do what you do, or why you don't do what you don't do. And if you live in close proximity with other individuals who irritate you, this is probably why. You're polar opposites. Now, I want to pause because we all have a little bit of each of them in us. We all do. We all have a little blue, a little red, a little green, and a little yellow. Now, we all have one that's just prominent, one that is the dominant characteristic trait for us. But we all have a little bit of each of the characteristic traits within us. So the moment we can learn how to identify the reds, the blues, the greens, the yellows, you'll have an opportunity to speak their language and then learn how to mirror and match them. And this will help you with learning how to win friends and influence. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Tanya Biglow, your philosophical physicist. And now you know a little bit more about why you do what you do, or why you don't do what you don't do. And until next time, I will see you again soon. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye for now.